Welcome to Live, life inspired views for every day. My name is Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul. On May 17th, 1954, the Supreme Court ruled that school segregation violated the 14th Amendment. In 1952, when Brown versus Board of Education first came before the Supreme Court, only four of the Supreme Court justices openly supported overturning segregation, but most of them personally opposed it. The shift in the justices changed in September 1953 when Chief Justice Fred M. Vinson suddenly died of a heart attack. President Eisenhower chose Earl Warren as the new Chief Justice. While Earl Warren had been governor of California, he had overseen the internment of many Japanese Americans during World War II, and he regretted it. Since the war, because of that experience, he passionately devoted himself to the cause of civil rights. So when the vote was taken on the Supreme Court, it was Earl Warren's vote alone that made the decision 5-4 in favor of overturning segregation. However, since the case was highly controversial, Warren wanted a unanimous decision, which finally happened on May 17th, 1954. I tell you that story because of the importance of being aware and reflecting on things happening around you that keep coming back to your mind, that don't sit right with you for some reason as you observe, and then leaves you feeling something remorse, joy, or anything that causes you to remember. When that happens, identify the feeling at the moment. Think on it so it soaks into your future references. The impact of awareness can bring someone to do great things. You can know and think things, but it is when they cause us to feel regret, sorrow, moral or ethical constraints, or honor, awe, and wonder that allows the possibility for change or action to happen when the time is right. My dad always said, everything that happens gets us ready for the next. When I was a young child, my mom and dad would read out of a little blue devotional book for families each night before bed. One story in the devotional haunted me for years. The story was about a missionary who came to talk at a church and challenged the church members, saying, God may be calling you to serve in another country as a missionary. Who will go? Well, in the story, a young girl stood up, raised her arm, and said, I'll go. For me as a child, this was frightening to think I might have to do scary things and go far away from my home, my parents, and safety. But that was my child's mind. Now I am grown and have experiences galore under my belt. Experiences that have helped me grow courage and understanding and confidence. Experiences that have prepared me to hopefully do hard things, to stand up for what I don't think is right, to do and think about things from different lenses. Last week, I talked about owning your actions or words when you make mistakes. Chief Justice Earl Warren had the opportunity to own the wrong that he felt was being done to marginalized people by doing something about it. Many of us will not be able to do something to own a wrong on the scale that Earl Warren was able to do, but we can always do something to act on what we feel is not right or the right treatment of others. We start by being sensitive and aware of what is happening around us. Even if we can't do something at the time, don't forget it so that you are ready to do something about it when the time is right and you have the opportunity. A life could be changed, and from that life, another, and more following that. It's like the butterfly effect I talked about last week. A little thing, when multiplied, becomes a big thing. Eleanor Roosevelt wisely said, you gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You must do the thing you think you cannot do. An old Chinese tale tells of an elephant who one day saw a hummingbird lying on his back, holding his tiny feet up in the air. The elephant asked what he was doing, to which the hummingbird replied, I heard that the sky might be falling today, and so I'm ready to hold it up in case it does. The elephant laughed. Do you really think your tiny feet could possibly hold up the sky? But the hummingbird continued keeping his feet purposefully up in the air and replied, "No, not alone, but each of us must do what they can, and this is what I can do." Earl Warren was affected by the internment of Japanese people. For me, feeling outside the circle of acceptance from grade school through high school makes me want to show value to all who feel insignificant and invisible. What is it for you? This week on your bathroom mirror, write, what have I observed or experienced that I must act on when an opportunity comes my way? Join me next Monday for Live, Life Inspired Views for Every Day. I'm Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul.